Los Angeles in 1992, the entire city is engulfed in flames and riots following the Rodney King verdict. But amidst that lawless chaos, a daring heist is quietly unfolding right at the workplace of Mercer, an ex-convict trying to rebuild his life. Two families, two fathers, and one bloody, fateful night. When the law collapses, survival instinct is the only thing left. Who will survive escaping this living hell? The story begins in Los Angeles in 1992, when Mercer receives a phone call from Child Protective Services right after he regains custody of his son, Antoine, under supervision. As he enters to wake Antoine up for school, at another location, a man named Riggin is meeting his close friend Copeland. Riggin entices Copeland to join a final heist, so they can leave the path of crime behind and seek stability. Back at Mercer's apartment, he prepares breakfast, but Antoine refuses to eat. At the same time, the radio is reporting in detail the incident where white police officers brutally beat an innocent black man named Rodney King and his companions, and are currently being tried in court. This event causes a strong shock in the black community. Mercer attempts to talk to Antoine, but the boy demands an explanation for why he was absent throughout his childhood and was not there when his mother had an accident. Mercer tries to restrain himself before his son's insolent attitude, but he cannot keep calm and shouts when Antoine utters vulgar words. Mercer imposes a curfew on Antoine after school because the tension from the Rodney King case is increasingly escalating. In another development, Riggin stops by to pick up his younger brother Dennis, and both go to meet their terrible father named Lowell. Riggin wants to present in detail the plan regarding the method they will use to conduct this robbery. Meanwhile, Mercer stops at a grocery store and sees some young thugs bothering an Asian female cashier. Mercer politely advises them not to disturb the woman anymore. The group of youths immediately pull guns and point them at his head. Suddenly, their leader DeVille appears, hurriedly stops them, and scolds his juniors for not recognizing who Mercer is as well as his respectable status in the area in the past. DeVille personally apologizes to Mercer and wonders when he finished his prison term, which was also the reason he could not be close to his family. Mercer reveals that he has been free for 6 months and is trying to live an honest life. Returning to Riggin, he leads his father Lowell to a factory where an insider has provided him with all the information and blueprints of a safe containing platinum worth $10 million. The safe is constructed from super durable material and guarded by a warning system, which will immediately drop an iron cage covering the safe when activated. Although the plan is carefully prepared, Lowell still does not approve of executing such a massive job and sneers that they lack the professionalism to bypass the factory's security or surveillance cameras. This behavior deepens the resentment Riggin has to bear from his father, yet he remains silent and drives him back home. Following them is Mercer, who is working as an employee at that very factory containing the platinum. When receiving his card and keys, he discusses with the head of security, Joseph, about the Rodney King trial and fears the situation will become extremely intense if the verdict is disadvantageous to the black victim. When Mercer starts his shift, Dennis and Riggin are sitting together. As a model younger brother, Dennis stays by Riggin's side to encourage him after the plan was rejected by their father. At the end of that day, the news that the jury declared an acquittal in the Rodney King case sent shockwaves through the black community. Violent riots erupted in Los Angeles, gradually spreading and spiraling out of control. Antoine left school and went straight home, noticing the chaos nearby, where a liquor store was being looted. Watching the news on television, Riggin came up with the idea to conduct the heist right at this moment because the police force would be busy dealing with the riots. He contacts his father, Lowell, and the old man agrees to join. At the same time, Mercer and all the factory workers are allowed to end their shift early to go home and take shelter. Riggin's insider at the factory reports the situation, so he calls Dennis and hurriedly initiates the robbery. They go to pick up Copeland at his home. His wife is pregnant, so he tells her to just stay safe inside the house. Back at the factory, Mercer cleverly asks Joseph for permission to bring Antoine inside, because his house is located right in the center of the black neighborhood, where it is currently not safe for his son. Joseph, who is fond of him, approves letting him and Antoine take shelter in the factory. In another development, Riggin goes to pick up his father and gets angry when seeing him hire 2 more gangsters for escort. Mercer drives through the angry, rioting crowd to pick up his son, but finds the house empty. While police cars rush toward the direction of the riots, Dennis drives a truck toward the factory. Joseph feels bored sitting in front of the camera screens, so he decides to patrol around the building. Riggin uses a stun gun to subdue and tie up the guard outside, then drives the truck through the main gate. They cross the receiving area, thinking no one is there, but when they encounter Joseph next to a vending machine, Riggin politely tries to tell him to move away. However, Lowell's henchmen open fire and kill Joseph immediately, leaving the two brothers horrified. Riggin threatens to shoot the thug, and the thug does the same. But Lowell intervenes, reminding the group of the main goal, the platinum. The criminals cut the phone lines and the camera system, then drive a forklift into the vault room to drill through the door. Mercer finally finds his son standing next to a vandalized grocery store. He grabs his son by the collar and shoves him into the car. Conversely, the gang of robbers begins drilling holes in the safe door. Joseph, who is not yet dead at this point, wakes up and tries to crawl to press the safe's alarm button. This action activates the steel cage, which descends to surround the safe. Riggin immediately drives the forklift forward to block the steel cage. In that moment, Copeland's leg gets stuck under the front wheel of the forklift and is crushed. Riggin panics and tries to reverse the vehicle to save his friend's leg, but the selfish father Lowell firmly refuses because if he does so, the cage will slam down. Riggin curses his father's cruelty. In response, Lowell orders his henchmen to snatch the forklift keys to prevent Riggin from reversing. At the same time, a patrol helicopter receives a warning signal from the factory, so it decides to fly over to investigate. Antoine tries to escape the car to join the group of protesters, but Mercer holds him back, explaining that violence is not the right solution. He tries to reason with Antoine, showing him that they are destroying their own town with their own hands, exactly as the police expect. At the factory, the robbers turn off the alarm and shoot Joseph again to ensure he is dead. Mercer and Antoine drive past a hot spot where a group of black men are threatening an innocent white couple. Mercer steps out of the car, knocks out those men to save the white couple, and tells them to flee. The gang of robbers uses every tool to break the safe, but is forced to pause when the helicopter flies over. The police in the aircraft see silence below, so they leave. Mercer and Antoine are blocked by police without cause due to a spontaneous curfew. The police harass Mercer and Antoine simply because they are black, dragging them out of the car to search them without a warrant. After finding nothing, they let the father and son go, but Antoine is deeply hurt by this blatant injustice. On the other side, the bad guys finally breach the safe using explosives and become millionaires. Riggin goes to take care of the truck, while Dennis goes into the restroom to wash Murphy's blood off his hands. At that moment, Mercer brings Antoine to the location. He finds it strange that there are no guards at the main gate, but still enters and shows Antoine the way to the restroom. Antoine's appearance startles Dennis, so he points a gun at the boy. Simultaneously, Mercer discovers Joseph's body. He takes Joseph's gun and moves forward, only to be attacked by gunfire from the thugs. He hides and goes to find Antoine, but cannot see him anywhere. He runs to the unloading area and cuts the power source to confront the robbers. He knocks out a henchman blocking the way, returns to the unloading area, and catches Riggin parking the truck. He punches Riggin unconscious and drags him away. Dennis leads Antoine to meet Lowell. The old man interrogates Antoine right in front of Copeland, who is screaming because of his crushed leg. Mercer tries to interrogate Riggin, but when he cannot get any information out of him, he guesses Riggin came to steal the platinum. He sneaks into the vault room and witnesses Lowell threatening his son. When Copeland's screaming becomes unbearable, Lowell shoots him dead, shocking both Dennis and Antoine. Antoine convinces the old man that he came to find his missing father who works here. The old man feigns generosity to let Antoine leave. Unfortunately, the henchmen appear and report that someone has kidnapped Riggin. Lowell immediately calls Antoine back and curses at him for lying. He decides to use the boy as a hostage to exchange for Riggin, orders his henchmen to check the truck, and discovers the vehicle's distributor cap has been removed. Mercer also escapes the room and tries to signal the patrol helicopter but is unsuccessful. A thug ambushes Mercer from behind and beats him to retrieve the distributor cap that he removed to prevent the truck from starting. Mercer swears and fights back. Finally, he shoots the thug, causing him to shatter the glass roof of the vault room and fall right in front of Lowell. Mercer returns to untie Riggin. He feels pity for Riggin for having a cruel father, revealing that the old man just shot a black man in their group dead right in front of his son. Riggin figured out it was Copeland, so he decides to turn against his father. Meanwhile, Lowell and a henchman pour acid all over the vault and surrounding items before packing the platinum bars and leaving. Dennis sits down next to Antoine and asks about Riggin's whereabouts, but Antoine swears he does not know. Lowell finally negotiates over the radio, demanding Mercer come to the loading area to make an exchange without carrying weapons. Riggin warns that this is a trap because Antoine is a witness, and his father will never spare a witness's life. Therefore, Mercer uses Riggin as a human shield. At the loading area, Dennis is moving platinum onto the truck. Lowell takes the distributor cap, installs it in the vehicle, but decides to shoot Antoine to avenge the henchman Mercer just killed. Mercer immediately pushes Riggin toward the truck and opens fire. Amidst the chaos, Dennis is struck by a bullet. Ultimately, Riggin helps Dennis onto the truck, and Mercer and Antoine drive that vehicle to escape with the platinum. Driven by greed, Lowell hijacks Mercer's car near the main gate with the henchmen and chases after them. When Dennis dies in Riggin's arms, he is in extreme agony. He opens the back door of the truck and begins unleashing bullets at his father, and right at that moment, the henchman shoots him in the chest. Before losing consciousness, Riggin manages to shoot down the henchman, but Mercer and Antoine are distracted by the gunshots and crash the truck violently. Lowell approaches the truck and sees the platinum scattered worthless on the ground. He looks at the dying Riggin, utters a fake apology, and then intends to shoot him in the head. When he hears the sound of Mercer crawling out of the vehicle, he intends to shoot Mercer, but Antoine shoots him from behind with trembling hands, saving his father's life. The movie closes with the scene of father and son hugging each other tightly and leaving the scene. The movie ends here. What did you think of this summary? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.